that, he did a good job.
Yeah, there was a chicken leg hanging out there too. We are now joined by Rock the Mic finalist number 3, Rohit Joshi. How are you?
Doing all right, guys. How are y'all doing?
I'm liking the Larry Bud Melman glasses there.
Oh, I mean, I'm
like if Larry Bud Melman went to the firing range, that's what he would wear. Do you know who Larry Bud Melman is?
If you're not on the webcam,
No.
go get on the webcam and check these out.
I'm just trying to be the modern day Hunter S. Thompson. What can I say? I mean,
All right.
it's just, that's the
what's
take
the
I'm
dude's
going.
name that did Borat? Didn't he
Sasha
do that
Baron
too?
Cohen.
Didn't he do
Ali
that?
G.
Ali
Oh,
G.
for sure. I don't know how
Totally.
many times I've
The
been called
glasses.
Ali G. too.
No, just the yellow, because didn't he have yellow?
Oh, for sure. For
He
sure.
did. As a matter of fact, he did.
Yeah.
That movie sucked though.
Oh,
Yeah,
the movie sucked. The show's
You,
great.
your T-shirt game though has
point.
you on
Run
point there.
DMC.
Do you watch Reverend Run's Sunday Meals or whatever that crappy show is?
Man, I used to watch whatever he had back in the day, but I mean, it got old real quick to me.
Yeah, he does a cooking show now with his wife.
You watch that?
My wife watches it. It's all about apparently Sunday dinner is a big deal in the Reverend Run Simmons household. So this is all about what. Good. I'm glad you don't watch it. So you were going to lose cool points.
You would have been out of the contest. You watch that? Yeah. Turn his mic off.
Yeah,
exactly.
Ben Hardy, who was not here, actually would have been ahead of you in the standing. Did we not hear that the cameraman here doesn't use Twitter because he doesn't know how?
Yeah. Danny, I'm disappointed, bro. How do you not? How do you
these
not know
guys,
how
Michael
to do
Carrell?
Twitter? You can work a cam, but you can't Twitter.
Cam Newton.
Can't do it.
Dude, that's terrible.
I don't know who I'm talking to when I do it.
Who interviews these interns, Michael? Is that not on the on the questionnaire? Can you operate fairly innocuous social media? Yes or no?
Really?
Hell, it even tells you when you've exceeded.
But you ask them if they can work a
characters.
camcorder?
To be fair, Michael did turn it on. He's just standing there holding it.
So basically, can you act like a human tripod and hold this in place?
So what do you do when you're not here playing radio? What's your career path that you
I struggle to define what I do. That's what I do for a living. So, I mean, I guess I'm a contractor. I work with small businesses and Fortune 500s, and I help them do marketing on a short-term basis. So right now I'm working with the oil and gas industry, doing some project management for them. So
Nice.
Yeah, just kind of all over the board a little bit.
Can I just say, Arius Fetus is killing you guys on Twitter. And if any of you had Twitter and followed us, you would know this. But yeah, and I'm not even going to read these because I don't want to deflate y'all's hopes. But he is just crushing you guys right now. And do you know who Arius Fetus is?
No.
Keyword courage.
Well, way to listen to the show, Rohit. You don't know if you listen to the show at least once
Or
a
follow
month.
us on.
Yeah, you would know who Arius Fetus is. Do you follow us on Twitter?
I'm gonna jump on Twitter now.
No,
I mean,
do you follow us on Twitter right now?
I'm not on Twitter.
Answer
right
the
now.
question.
Yes.
You are a liar.
Hey, at least I'm lying to your face.
If you
right?
don't follow this show on Twitter, but you are in this contest, what is your
I need to
problem?
jump on Twitter first, and then I'll follow you.
How can you be
guy I'm gonna
auditioning
follow.
for a show that you don't even support?
How are you in a room with 4 people under the age of 50?
I was gonna say, be careful, 'cause I'm old.
I'm older than you. So we're
God.
obviously we're talking Texans here, man. How much do you take out of a preseason win like last night's?
A little and a lot. I mean, I'm going to kind of be devil's advocate here. The conversation was with Andrew that preseason games don't matter, and I kind of subscribe to that notion 9 times out of 10. But I think that with a new coach coming in, he's installing a new culture, he's installing a new offense, he's installing basically everything new. I think that it's important to see what the fallout is of a new installation like that. I think that you got to keep your finger on the pulse, especially if you're the ownership, especially if you're the general managers and stuff like that. You need to be watching these games just to see what the immediate splash reaction is that O'Brien is having. So, I mean, I think there is some weight that this last game carried. I mean, just to kind of piggyback off of where Andrew said, you saw Bill O'Brien being a little bit more animated than Kubiak. Kubiak was arms crossed, mouth shut, kind of head down a little bit.
Waffle House menu.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
would you feel that way if they had lost last night? That's what I want to know. Everyone's like, well, these games kind of do matter. Well, if they were 0-3, would they matter?
No. They don't. If they don't count towards the ultimate goal of a Super Bowl, the only reason these games matter is to finalize your roster. That's what they matter for. The results of the game do not matter.
And give
now,
reps to the guys that you don't know much about.
yeah, and now if you can build some momentum, or if you can, build some team cohesiveness because your team feels like, oh, hey, we're in this together, and we're fighting for 4th and 1s and late in game drives and all that. That's great. That's a byproduct of what you're doing. But the ultimate goal is just who are our best 53 players that we're going to run out there in week 1.
I've been saying for a couple weeks, Rohit, that I like the fact that they're playing Arizona, that they played Denver last night. Last week
Falcons.
was Falcons last week, and then next week San Francisco. Most of the starters won't be playing. What do you think about facing a lineup like that in preseason, getting results as opposed to, I don't know, Jacksonville, who are the Dredges, Buffalo? What do you think about
Cowboys.
facing a tougher preseason schedule?
I mean, it doesn't hurt you, I mean, you want to play against better competition
Right.
to get better, So, I mean, it doesn't really hurt the Texans by playing a heavy contender type preseason schedule. But at the same time, it's like you're still playing against the second stringers on the Arizona Cardinals. You're still playing against the third stringers of the San Francisco 49ers. And yeah, some of these franchises are a little bit more of the Super Bowl pedigree, and it will resonate down to their third stringers. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't really make a difference, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking about Jacksonville's second and third stringers versus Denver's second and third stringers, and it's pretty much a wash at the end of the day. We're still talking about Alcorn State players, you know what I'm saying?
Glenn College.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the truth. Peyton Manning, 21 of 27, 243, 2 touchdowns, and a pick in limited duty. So,
Right.
don't be
So
so, well,
double
we
that.
held Peyton to 17 points last night.
Double that, and you gave up 28 points, 450 yards. You probably aren't going to pick it in the second half.
486 yards.
Yeah, and you're probably not going to get another
Yeah.
pick off Manning in the second half. So,
Yeah, right.
so like I said at the beginning of the show, hey, great win, fantastic, and all that, but everybody calm down a little bit because you didn't face Peyton Manning for 4 quarters. Number one,
True that.
first and foremost.
True that.
So,
Good for you. You a Texans fan?
I'm not really a Texans fan. I don't really have a team.
Get out.
I grew up in Oklahoma City, and that was
do you hang out with
before.
Maggie? Or y'all?
Actually,
are y'all
funny
just
enough,
together?
she
Are y'all trying to-
graduated my
He's
sister.
a bed hedger. That's what he is. So you
Yeah.
don't follow a team?
I don't follow AT. The only team I have is the Oklahoma Sooners, just because I'm an alumni. But I mean, as far as pro teams, I grew up in a vacuum of pro teams in Oklahoma City.
Well, how do you feel about OU's chances? A lot of people see them in that 4 playoff team scenario. What do you think?
I think that they're realistically probably a little bit lower ranked. They should be probably around like 8 or 9. And I think that,
Really?
yeah, I think that Trevor Knight has been inconsistent in his play throughout the last season. And I think that if he just operates to like a certain fraction of what his performance was in the Sugar Bowl throughout the course of this next season, I think that they can be a contender. But right now, it's just like he's still a question mark. As good as he looked on paper and on at the game, he's still a question mark in my mind.
Might be the most level-headed and realistic Oklahoma Sooners fan I have ever met.
I try.
Seriously, so they're not going to win the AFC this year?
You're so wrong. Shout out to Maggie.
All right.
You are so wrong for that.
Rohit Joshi, thank you so much for joining us.
I
Your
appreciate
time
it.
is up. Congrats on making the finals, and best of luck to you Friday night at 2 Blows for the Rock the Mic finals. When we come back, man, 1 hour in the books. That's how it rolls around here.
Crazy.
We will have the Twitter update as well as hot routes, and then we will name the 4th finalist to join us here on the air. This is Houston Game Day on ESPN 97.5. See you on the other side.